This is the third video in a series of videos walking through a server setup using the Google Cloud. Now, in this video, we are choosing to go the Node.js route. So from this point forward, the instructions here are specific to Node.js. The first two videos were a little more generic. If you want to continue with Node.js, you can continue this video. If you want to go with a PHP server setup, there is another video for that. So in this video, we have assumed you already have a Google Cloud instance already set up, and you've worked out getting FTP access to that server. From there, we are going to install Nginx, Node.js, and a process manager called PM2. So when a request comes in, Nginx will react to the request and direct that request to a running Node.js app. That Node.js app will be turned on by PM2 in case that it crashes for some reason or if the server is rebooted. I've already logged into my Google Cloud console. I'm going to navigate over to my VM instance, and I'm going to open up the SSH window for my server. On the left side here, I have some instructions that I have put on my website. So basically, we're going to walk through these instructions. So to start, we're going to install Nginx. So I'm just going to run a quick update before I start installing new items. I'm going to install Nginx. If you come from any kind of PHP background, Nginx is the equivalent of Apache. It is the program on the server that will basically do the listening. When a request for a website comes in, it is Nginx that responds. Okay, I'm also going to open up my firewall to allow requests to come in. And then I can run this just to confirm that Nginx is installed and running. So when I run that, notice that Nginx is currently active. Now, if I go to my IP address and view that in a browser, my server is now responding. So it is Nginx that is responding to that request, and at this point just delivering a default Nginx web page. Next, I want to install Node.js. So first I'm going to make sure I have Nano installed. Right, which I do, and I'm going to use Nano, which is a very basic text editor, to make some changes to some text documents. So first I'm going to install npm. npm stands for Node Package Manager, and I can use it to install a program called N, which I can use to install and manage my Node versions. Any web-related files go in the var/www folder, so I just want to make sure that those folders have the right permissions. And then I'm just going to restart the server. So now I should have access to the www folder. Okay, I'm going to make a directory called index from my index app. And I want to create a file in here, and I'm going to place this Node.js app. This is basically the smallest amount of code you can use to have Node.js deliver a web page. On this web page, it's just going to say hello world. So I'm going to create a file called index.js, paste that Node app in there, save it, and now I want to install PM2 and use PM2 to initialize that Node app. So I'm just going to go to my PM2 instructions. And first, let's install PM2. Okay, after that, I'm just going to do a quick list. I can see my index file there, so I want to start that file. So I'm going to go PM2, start, the name of the file, so index.js, and I'm going to give it the name index. Okay, so it started. So I'll make this a little bigger so we can read this better, but if I now go PM2 status, I can see index is now running. Now, I want to have my index.js file start even if the server is rebooted. So I'm going to use this command here. It's going to save this as the startup setup. Okay, then it just needs me to copy and paste this command in. And now if I reboot that machine, that process should already be up and running. And our last piece here is I want to change my Nginx server settings. So if I go down to this line here, this is my server settings. The specific part I'm looking for is the location settings, so this part here. So I'm going to create a subdomain called test.faker.ca. So I'm going to change the server name to test.faker.ca. Okay, then in my location, I want to add code that will basically pass any requests through Nginx to my Node.js app. I won't worry about tabbing, but that ideally is lined up with the lines above it. And I'm going to save this. And then restart Nginx. Now, if I visit my server using an IP address, I'm now redirected through Nginx to my hello world. If I want to connect a domain name, I'm going to go into my domain registrar. I'm using godaddy.com. I'm going to sign in. I'm going to go to my DNS for faker.ca. I'm going to add an A record. I'm going to point the subdomain test to the IP address of my new server. Click Save. And now, if I go test.faker.ca, baker.ca. I also get my Node.js app just delivering a hello world message.